It was a cold Monday morning, and the city bus was already packed with commuters. People clung to handrails and seatbacks as the vehicle jolted over potholes. In one of the priority seats, near the window, sat a visibly pregnant woman named Olivia Carter. Her eyes were heavy with exhaustion, her hand resting on her belly as if protecting her unborn child from the chaos around her. The bus made another stop, and more people squeezed inside. That's when Jake Miller stepped in. He was in his early 20s, wearing a bright red hoodie and holding his phone in one hand, earbuds hanging around his neck. He scanned the crowded bus, his eyes landing on Olivia. A smirk spread across his face. Jake wasn't the type to keep his thoughts to himself. With an exaggerated sigh, he made his way toward Olivia, towering over her as she sat quietly, minding her own business. Seriously? Jake scoffed loudly. You're sitting in a priority seat? Come on, lady, give it up for someone who really needs it. The other passengers turned their heads, some whispering among themselves. Olivia glanced up at Jake but remained silent. Her hand tightened on the handrail as the bus jerked forward again. Jake wasn't done. Pregnant or not, you're not special, he added, his tone dripping with mockery. People have places to be. Get up. The tension in the bus was palpable. No one dared to speak up, but their uncomfortable glances spoke volumes. Jake, oblivious to their disapproval, leaned closer to Olivia, pointing at her belly. What, you think just because you're having a kid, you deserve special treatment? Newsflash, everyone's got problems. Olivia took a deep breath and looked Jake in the eyes. Her gaze wasn't angry or defensive. It was calm, steady, and full of quiet strength. Are you done? She asked softly. Jake blinked, surprised by her composed response. He had expected her to get defensive or flustered, but instead, she sat there, unfazed. What? He muttered, his smirk faltering. I'm asking if you feel better, Olivia repeated. Does mocking me make you feel good about yourself? Jake was taken aback. The other passengers watched intently, some nodding in silent agreement with Olivia. Before Jake could answer, Olivia continued. You don't know me, she said. You don't know what I've been through. I'm not sitting here because I want to. I'm sitting here because I have to. Jake crossed his arms, trying to maintain his composure. But something about her tone made him feel small, like a child being scolded. I've spent hours at the hospital this morning, Olivia went on. I'm carrying a baby that doctors said I'd never be able to have. I'm tired. I'm in pain. And I just want to get home without someone making my day worse. Jake's face turned red. He opened his mouth to speak but found himself at a loss for words. The smug grin he wore moments ago had completely vanished. A voice from the back of the bus cut through the silence. Leave her alone, kid, said an older man, his tone stern. You've made your point. Now sit down and show some respect. The passengers murmured their agreement, and Jake glanced around, realizing for the first time that he was the only one laughing. His arrogance melted away, replaced by embarrassment. The bus pulled up to the next stop, and Olivia stood up, preparing to leave. Before stepping off, she turned to Jake one last time. I hope you learned something from this, she said quietly. Kindness costs nothing. Remember that. Jake watched her walk away, disappearing into the crowded street. His mind raced with thoughts. He couldn't shake the image of her tired, yet dignified, expression. Her words echoed in his head, kindness costs nothing. The bus continued its route, but Jake remained standing, lost in thought. The other passengers whispered around him, but he didn't hear them. All he could think about was how wrong he had been. That night, Jake sat alone in his apartment, scrolling through his phone. His social media feed was filled with the usual sarcastic posts and memes. Normally, he would join in, adding his own snarky comments. But tonight felt different. He stared at the empty text box for a long moment before typing. Today, I learned a lesson I won't forget. It's easy to judge someone without knowing their story. But a little kindness can go a long way. Let's try to be better. He hit post and leaned back in his chair. For the first time in a long time, he felt a sense of relief, a feeling that maybe, just maybe, he was starting to change for the better. If you've ever witnessed a moment like this, share your story in the comments below. And if this video moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that make you think. Remember, small acts of kindness can make a big difference. Let's spread positivity, one story at a time.